Hello. Hello, everyone. Okay, I am live. Okay, I was wondering just for a second. Always need to figure out Facebook when they're live or not. Welcome, everybody. I'm Andrea Caprio. I'm so happy to have you here today. I want to speak today about something I'm hearing very often with my clients, that they're struggling with a weight loss plateau. So when people start working with me, sometimes it happens they are losing really fast some weight. I do have quite good tips on how to get there, and they're doing really great. And they get on the scale, and suddenly, after a few weeks or a few months, suddenly the scale doesn't budge anymore, right? And of course, they are upset, and I understand it because, of course, I have been there. And I guess you have been there too. So I would love to know if you're joining today. First of all, where are you from? Maybe just say hello or so I know you can hear me and that you are here. And then I would love to know if you have ever been hitting the weight loss plateau, if you have been there where you have been really doing everything right, but still the scale doesn't move. So when that happens, I, of course, am there to help my clients. After all, I'm a coach. And I'm there to help to get them over that weight loss plateau. And that is something I'm going to share with you today. So you're getting really the top tips from usually my one-on-one or group coaching that I share with them to overcome a weight loss plateau. So, just for a quick introduction, my name is Andrea Caprio. I'm a Master Certified Transformational Nutrition Coach, and I specialize in helping busy women to overcome their weight issues, emotional eating issues, and any chronic conditions that are related to that. And I really help my clients to feel more confident in their lives. Usually, most people who come and see me, they've tried diet after diet, failed after another attempt yet, and they always believe, or in general believe, they are the problem. And I believe, no, they are not. So if you're watching and you're nodding your head, just know you are not the problem. It's just that you've never maybe found the right approach that is good for you so you can lose weight and keep it off. It is possible. I've seen it with all my clients. And eventually, after some time, even after overcoming the weight loss plateau, and some of them do hit it, then, they go and they continue losing weight. So that's something I want to share with you today, fresh from the press. Please feel free to ask any questions in the comments, or just let me know, if you are there, and introduce yourself and let me know if you are having issues about a weight loss plateau maybe. Right. So let's start right now. So I want in the first part, I want a little bit to speak more about the reasons why you have this, or why you might have this weight loss plateau, why we sometimes struggle to lose weight. And then, of course, in the end, or in the second part, I want to share tips to overcome, because I guess that's why you are here. You want to know how to remedy this situation here. So if you are there and you've been doing everything right, you've been eating and exercising and so on, and still nothing moves, then let me share a couple of things. What might be the reason? Just remember, we all are different. So it might apply, it might not apply, right? So that's why I believe really in a personalized approach. We all, after all, are different. So first of all, remember the muscle is very much involved in the metabolism. And when we lose weight, we lose about 5% of the weight loss, or the body tissue we lose during the weight loss, comes actually from muscle. And that really plays a role also in keeping an optimal metabolic rate. And when we don't have that, then we might struggle to lose weight. So your metabolism is very much a part in there. So what you can do really there is, regular exercise is important to preserve and build muscle to keep your metabolism on track. So just remember also one thing: muscle weighs more than fat. So that might be why sometimes you might look slimmer, but you're not losing. In the end, that's what you want, right? It's not only about the weight, or it's not really about the weight, it's actually more about the fat mass, right, that you want. You want to lose the fat. You don't want to lose the muscle. So just keep that in mind. So you're looking maybe a little bit more actually about, you want maybe to look around how your body feels, how you feel in your jeans or something like that. So the scale might not always be the best indicator. Another thing why you might be struggling with losing weight is that your body is often in its comfort zone. And it's kind of funny to describe that, but sometimes the body needs to feel comfortable at a certain weight. Now the body is used to whatever weight you had previously and kind of feels comfortable. So it's kind of struggling, to get to the new state, to the less weight. So that's why, again, the metabolism plays a role. It needs kind of to catch up with this new reality, right? And that is very often, the issue is very often at that stage, people then start to eat more, right? Or they stop their diet or whatever they are. And by the way, I'm not recommending a diet. I'm far more working in the long term, having healthy eating patterns and a holistic approach and looking at root causes. I'm going to get to that just now. But that's far more important, and that helps really in the long term than a diet. But definitely I would recommend take it slow, right? Your body needs to catch up, and just continue what you're doing. You will get there. Believe me, eventually you will get there by looking at all these issues I'm sharing here. Right. Then one thing I don't always hear that, but I hear it often, is that people say, yeah, but I'm working out and, I'm going whatever, an hour per day, I'm gymming and I'm doing this and I'm going to do that, and I'm not losing weight. Now, know first of all that 80% of your efforts of your weight loss are actually based on the eating, right? Eating the right healthy diet for you, versus 20% of your regular exercise, of your efforts are going towards weight loss or getting to the healthy weight. So just by remembering that, more important is always the diet. But not only, right? Just doing the diet also without working out will also not cut it. So you need both. Your body needs both, really, to be focused on dropping down and losing that weight. So just remember, it's always a holistic approach. It's never just one thing. It's always several things. Then the next point is that you might want to look at your mindset. Now, there I am fully in my element. I love talking about the mindset, because very often we are believing we are not worthy, and especially I see that with women happening. We're not worthy, we're not lovable, we're not valuable, we are not able to achieve any goal, we are useless, and we tell ourselves these little kind of subconscious false beliefs that we've picked up somewhere in our past, often in our childhood, right? And we pick that up and we continue believing that, we are whatever, our subconscious mind tells us. And when you do that, and as I said, it's the subconscious, so you're not always aware of that, then you don't get there, right? The subconscious mind's job is to keep us safe, right? And safe is what we know. Safe is not necessarily good, right? But safe is what we know. Now, unsafe is something new, right? Now, if you've had your weight for a couple of years, which many of you probably have, if you're here or if you're wanting to lose weight, right, then for you, your subconscious wants to keep you safe, because they know how to deal with it. And the new thing, losing weight might be something, maybe people will not like you anymore. Maybe you become a different person. Maybe you're actually proving your parents right or wrong, or whatever it is, right? Those little things we have. I see also, by the way, a lot of people having trauma. For example, I had somebody who has been abused, or raped rather, in her youth, and she kept herself safe by putting on weight, or it's again the subconscious thinking, it makes her less desirable to the people who were harming her. And that is also something we need to keep in mind. Now, not everybody had that, of course, but whatever it is, sometimes we kind of build this protection around us. I've just started working with a client, and she feels or felt rather uncomfortable when she was a teenager with the looks of men at her, right? And she wanted to be respected for who she is, right? For she's a very clever woman, so she wanted to be respected and liked or loved for her mind rather than for her looks. And that's why she put on weight, right? So people would not like her because of her gorgeous looks, but because of her amazing mind. And by the way, she's a very beautiful woman and she's very clever. So these are kind of things that come up in our subconscious. So that is something that might need addressing. And is this something I am passionate about? And probably when I work with my clients goes, yeah, not 80%, but probably over 50% of the time I'm working with my clients on the mindset, right? We work a lot on the nutrition, we work a lot on other lifestyle changes, exercise, sleep, stress management, things like that. But then we go always very deep in the mindset, because that's what usually is the problem, that why people are not actually losing weight, getting over the weight loss plateau, sticking to a diet, keeping it as a long time lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle, and are able to keep the weight off and stay healthy, right? So that's really, really super important to understand. So there are so many things. So if you are struggling with self-sabotage or, having these mindset issues or so, maybe it's time, to look at the approach and maybe work with somebody together who can help you to overcome this. And by the way, I have also a lot of people who do work on some issues from the past, trauma or so, but they work usually with a therapist who looks at the psychological side of everything, but never putting that in conjunction with maybe things like emotional eating or so, right? Often people then pick up food to overcome and fulfill that void. And that's where I kind of work with my clients between the nutrition part and the psychological part. I have the education in both. And I help my people to overcome this. So if you're interested, I am offering, and I'm putting always a little bit spots aside for a Forever Sexy Weight coaching session, which is a free consultation with me, where basically I help you to overcome these issues, address them, find out what you've been struggling with, where we talk about what are your goals, and then of course I help you to bridge the gap to get to those goals. So if you're interested, there is here in the description the link to the blog post I mentioned earlier. I've just written the blog post, or rather scheduled it on there, on my blog, on my website, and so the link is in the description. And in the blog post you can also sign up and apply for a free consultation if you're interested to get a little bit deeper. Right. Then next point of the root causes is that it might be that either you are struggling with some external health issues. And that might be something that you might have a medical condition, or you might have some other root causes, or maybe some supplements or so, or medication even, that are the reason why you're struggling to lose weight. Now, please always know that any supplements or anything should be checked with your doctor. I am sharing in my blog post some specific supplements that might help to overcome, but you definitely want always to look. And that's something also when I work with my clients, I look at the root cause. I'm huge about the root cause. That's one point actually of my food freedom formula, which my 5R steps are actually the resolve the root cause, right, or repair and the root cause. So that's really, really important there to address the root cause. And as I say, sometimes you want to look at the medical condition with your doctor, but sometimes it can just be a simple thing like food intolerance. Not that it's simple though, but you might then look at the food intolerance, and that might be the reason why you have developed some inflammation, why you're not losing the weight. So again, these are things I am very happy to help you discover or uncover if you're interested in finding that out. Right, now let's talk more about how you can right now maybe address it. Now, no, you might need some help with it, and I'm here for that, but you might also, of course, do that on your own. So first of all, one thing I always recommend, if you've been doing something for some while and you're stuck, right, change your routine. Okay, if of course, don't change your routine every day. I mean, that is goes without saying. So you need to stick consistently to something. But if after, let's say, 2 3 weeks or so, you do really all the right things, right, especially you've looked at all the things I just addressed earlier, and still nothing is happening, just change your daily routine. So maybe instead of running for 30 minutes, try swimming or riding a bike, right? Or instead of doing too much cardio, maybe you need more strength exercise. Or again, also your eating routine. Maybe, if you have been trying to cut out fat, maybe fat is not the problem, but it's carbohydrates, right? And again, this is something, it's personal. I believe in personal nutrition, but just by changing the daily routine, you kind of surprise your body, and you might actually get it to move the weight. As I mentioned, the food intake is also, what you eat. So personalized nutrition is the key, but also make sure that you are looking at your portion size, for example, right? And again, some foods might harm you, so you might really to need to adapt that as well. So remember, when you're losing weight, you need less calories, right? I see a lot of clients. I've had that one of my clients, she was losing 50 pounds over some time. And I was talking with her some time a little bit later, and she was a bit stuck. She still had more weight to lose, or wanted to lose more weight, and she was stuck and got a little bit frustrated. And we went, part of in my group coaching and my one-on-one coaching, I have the possibility of my clients that can track their food in an app, and I check on it and I give them almost daily feedback. And I found out with her that she was still eating the same quantity she's been eating previously when she had those 50 more pounds on, right? Which of course for her less weight was too much, and that's why she was stuck there. So we readjusted her portion size and she continued losing. So that can be as easy as that. And then of course, know your limit. So again, as I mentioned earlier, if there's something, please check with your doctor or with a professional, or you can always check with me if you're there, and I'm definitely happy to look at it. But there might be some underlying causes that you don't know. There can be so many, difficult to name them all, but I work a lot with people who have digestive issues, so there might be something to look at. They might be not absorb. I mean, it's simple. If your digestive system doesn't work, you cannot absorb the nutrients maybe, and then the body wants more nutrients, but your mind or your brain hears that it wants more food actually, and then you eat more, right? So it can be simple things like that, but sometimes you need a little bit of help. So feel free to sign up for a session with me. Just go on the blog, the link is in the description. One of the next things, we're almost at the end here, is I'm also passionate, as I mentioned earlier, it's all about a holistic approach, right? And a holistic approach is the food, of course, is your emotional health, is exercise, stress management, a couple of other things, and sleep. And sleep is so underrated. I have so many people, they are not sleeping enough. And did you know that there was a study done? There had two groups of people. They were all put on the same diet and they wanted to lose weight. And one group was sleep deprived. They were sleeping 5-6 hours, and the other group was, I think, around 8 hours. And the weight loss difference was 52%. Obviously, those who were sleeping longer lost 52% more. That's amazing, right? So just by getting an 8 hour sleep will help you to reset your hormones, right? And that's really, really important. You have, for example, ghrelin and leptin, your hunger and satiety hormones. That's helping with the regulation of how much we eat. So these are things that might help you as well. And then remember also, we talked earlier, I mean, just a little reminder, build your muscles to make sure that your metabolism is catching up with also the new reality. Right. Now, I would love to know from you which of those tips was the most important one for you, or the best aha moment where you said, like, oh, wow, so happy that I learned this today. Or which is also the thing that you are gonna implement here. What are you ready to implement into your daily life to overcome this weight loss plateau? Where are you going to look? And maybe if you have any questions, I'm going to stick here around for another minute or so. Please type them in the comments. And also, please, if you're watching the replay, I know not everybody can be live here. Type in the comments what questions you have, and then I will always get back to you. Remember, in the description, I have put the link for my blog post, which speaks all about how to overcome a weight loss plateau. And also, you have in there, you have a couple of additional really nice information. I put a really nice guide about mindful eating. And of course, if you want more help, I have put in there a special place, 5 sessions where you can apply for a free session with me to help you overcome your issues with weight loss, plateau, or other weight issues, or emotional eating, or health issues you're having. Always happy, to help you to get towards the goals, find out what you're struggling with, and bridge the gap. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm Andrea Caprio. I would love to hear from you back if you liked that, if anything was useful or so. Or maybe you also just want to write back what you would like to hear more from. I do these videos weekly. I try at least most weeks, and so you might want to find out a little bit more and have maybe burning questions of things I can talk in one of the next sessions. Look forward meeting you and seeing you next time and hearing back from you. Bye bye. Take care.